Hey guys, this is a quick tutorial for baking Vertex Animation Textures in UEFN with AutoVAT. I'm going to show you how to do both a single bake and a batch bake. First, we need to make sure UEFN is set. You can always do this later as well. Then we're going to import our model and animations. I already have mine set up. I have 3 animation sequences: walk, idle and attack. And then I also have the skeletal mesh as well. We're going to select all of them and click open. It's going to ask us whether we want to set our texture now or later. And I'm going to set mine now. I have my texture set in this folder. My textures are actually blurry, but we can fix them in the material editor. For my material, I need to set my opacity mask, set my filter to nearest, and then make it two-sided. This is for my material specifically, and yours may differ. Now it's a lot sharper. We can check out our animations here by clicking play. This is the attack animation. Here's the idle animation. And here's the walk animation. If we want to add more animations, we can do it here. The next thing we need to check is the orientation. We can use the mannequin to see the forward axis, to see which way we need to turn our model. Let's go over here to rotate, then hold Control to snap it until it faces the right way. Now we're ready to bake the VATs. Let's go over here and click Bake VATs. We can rearrange these here if we want to, whatever order you like, and then we can hit Bake. We want to select Import to Engine, so it will automatically set up all our materials. Let's hit Import to Engine. I already have a folder set up on my desktop called Demo, so I'm going to use that as my root. You want to pick a place that you want the baked delta to live, and you can use it again later. Let's click Export. There we go, our VATs are exported. Now let's hit OK. Next, we need to do the UEFN bridge so that it can automatically set up the materials for us. This only needs to be done once per project. Before bridging, we need to first do an important step. Let's go back over to our UEFN project and go to Project, Project Settings, scroll down and click Enable Python Editor Scripting. There we go. Now we will be able to bridge. Now let's go back over to AutoVAT and hit Install UEFN Bridge. We need to find our UEFN project, so hit Browse. Mine's under Documents, Fortnite Projects, and my project is called VAT Demo. And I'm going to select it and hit Open, click Install. We need to restart and reopen UEFN. So we're going to hit OK, go back to UEFN, close out of it, and then reopen. Once you get your project opened back up, we're going to go back to AutoVAT and hit Connect. You can change the route if you want. I think I'm just going to use that as a route. And let's hit Generate. There we go. Now our materials and everything should automatically be set up, and go back to UEFN to make sure everything looks good. Let's find our character and drag out our static mesh. There it is. We just baked and set up a VAT for UEFN and it looks really good. Now let's go back to AutoVAT and I'm going to show you how to do the same thing, but this time we'll do a batch bake with multiple characters. First, click Batch Bake. I already have a folder set up for this. I have 4 different characters in here. In each one, I have the animation sequences and skeletal mesh in the character folder, and then the textures are here. I'm going to select the whole folder. already bridged from earlier, so we can start the batch bake. One thing I do need to do is fix my blurry textures in our material. So let's fix those one more time. I'll connect opacity mask, set it to nearest, and two-sided, and hit compile. There we go. It looks like it's facing the right way. Let's hit use settings and we can batch bake these all at once. There we go. We baked all the character models. Let's go back to UEFN and see how they look. There's our single bake. Now let's look at the batch baked models. We have our 4 characters here. There's one of them. Here's another one. One more. And let's check the last one. They all look good. And that's how you batch bake and single bake in UEFN using AutoVAT. Thanks for watching.